It's a sign of the times. The sign you're looking at will probably be hung in a prominent place by tonight. We're recording this program in the early afternoon of October 8th with sunshine. You may be watching it in a snowstorm. We don't care. Today's a beautiful day. And it's kind of an exciting day for the Northern Tier, Michael O'Brien. How are you?
Great, excited.
Michael's the manager of the Rouse's Point Civic Center, and I looked inside and saw about 500 tables and chairs. Said, I haven't been here since hockey days, and you told me there's going to be ice down here in a short time.
Today's Wednesday, so a week from Friday we should be open for business.
All ready for the season. This Civic Center has quite a nice history. How long has it been around here?
I think it was originated in 1979, and that was a group of people went to Massachusetts, bought an old rink, brought everything back. It was a federal grant, 1,000 Island Park grant that did the building for the village, and then the organization bought the old hockey rink and brought it from Massachusetts to here.
It's always a community effort, though, to get something like this underway and to keep it going.
Yes, it is. It's just, you need all kinds of community support to keep this going.
I'll tell you, I spent a lot of time here seeing some wonderful hockey games, and some of my little kids that are now big kids have banged around these boards more than once, so there's a lot of good history. How long have you been connected with it, Michael?
This will be my 4th hockey season. I've worked for the village for 12 years. I was 8 years in the water plant, so I've been down here for 4 years now.
Is the ice time pretty well spoken for already?
It's already booked for the whole season, just
Isn't
about.
that incredible?
There's only a few hours here and there, but every night is taking. There's no open nights for skating.
I think we ought to get another grant and build another civic center behind it.
Well, hopefully not too close. You know, we don't want to compete against business here, you know.
You could handle both of them. Is this going to be the biggest event you've had in here?
For people it is, I think. Well, for a dinner it is. We've never held a dinner. Shazy Hardware had a home show where they did have a small dinner, like 125 people. They had close to 1,000 people, though, over their 3 days earlier in the summer. And then Delegars had a home show here that did pretty well. They were happy. They said they'd be back next year. So this is our 3rd big event for the first year having a cement floor. So I think we've done all right.
Well, this is the first year on the cement floor. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
A year ago, the village underdid over a $500,000 renovation here. So that was poured August 6th of last year. So it's just been a little over a year since we've had a cement floor. So I think for the first summer, I think we did fairly well.
I think you've done very well. There will be a lot of Republicans jammed into this place tonight. The reason being that Governor George Pataki is coming to town, not only to town but to the North Country. He will have made a tour of Lake Placid. In the morning, he will have stopped at the city of Plattsburgh to make a major announcement about Park and a new tenant on the former Plattsburgh Air Force Base. And tonight, what's this function all about in Rouse's Point?
It's the Clinton County Republican dinner. Fundraiser, I guess, too, as they call it, too. But there's supposed to be near 500 people served for dinner tonight. Cocktails are at 6, dinner starts at 7.
Well, I bet you won't be doing the cooking either, Mike, huh?
No, I won't. The Royal Savage is catering it. So
I bet you that's probably one of the biggest things they've done, too. When you're talking 500 people
I see in the paper today that they closed down for the day.
You can understand why, boy.
Yes, so they're all going to be up here.
Don Benjamin and his wife and the whole staff probably didn't get much sleep last night preparing for it.
No, they worked all day yesterday in here, too. They set up all the tables, and they've been very, very busy.
We drove up to the outside of the Rouse's Point Civic Center this afternoon, and there was a hubbub of activity. People wait in line to ask Michael questions about what goes where and what do we do with this. We started out by looking at a sign. This is going to be hung outside, inside, or what, Mike?
Outside over the front door. We just put 2 new lights in this afternoon, so it should be, hopefully everything will look very nice when he arrives.
We have an enclosure near the entrance to the Civic Center that somebody said to Calvin's a lot taller than me, so they said duck.
Sharp Rental donated that today for this.
You know, this Civic Center really does look good. That was a lot of effort involved in rehabilitating this place.
Oh, yes, it was. It was a major undertaking. J. Hogan Refrigeration was the contractors, and they did a very good job. This summer we did the outside of the roof, redid that, which was $27,000 for that, and then we just did the insulating on the inside, which was another $50,000 this summer. So we spent another $80,000 this year.
How much lead time did they give you on this event today? How long have you had to sweat it out, Michael?
Not very long. It was come about like 3 weeks ago. We were supposed to open for ice October 1st. We were going to have
Didn't
ice
make
down.
it this year.
No, and then the Cougars are very nice because I had rented, I had ice time rented, and I went back to them and, and told them the event that we had, and I think it would be good for the village and to have the governor here. That we haven't had a governor in Ross's Point since 1963.
Come on.
Governor Rockefeller was the last one in the village. He was here in 1963. I don't remember it, but
Well,
that's
it's
what I've been
about
told.
time for a repeat performance.
Yes, I would think so. So,
But
we're
3 weeks isn't very long, Michael.
No, it wasn't, but we did it. They had some other options, but we won out, I guess, so we're happy.
Good for you. How big a staff do you normally have here?
Myself, I got 2 full-timers and 1 part-timer.
Uh-oh.
So there's like 4 of us.
So you had to bring a few extra folks?
No,
in to do it
I got it. Well, I got a few of the line crew, the electric crew in the village has done some electrical work in here, but no, just about our staff has done it all here for this event anyway. We paneled all the walls after they insulated, so the kids wouldn't pick the insulation off this winter, and we've done quite a bit. We've painted everything in the last couple of weeks, and just a lot of general cleaning. The place is probably cleanest it has ever been.
Well, we're going to take a look around inside to see if we can hear the drills turning and the people hammering and tell you what's going on by way of preparing for the big event tonight in just a moment. Now, there's patriotism for you. Look at the size of that American flag. Now, if Don Benjamin's wife were here, we could chime in the national anthem, but we'd have to sing real soft and let her sing real loud. Donald, how are you?
Good, thanks. How you doing?
I'm doing great. We heard you were catering this event for the first time since 1963. Since the Nelson Rockefeller days, have we had a governor here in Rouse's Point, so Civic Center is being bedecked for the occasion. It wasn't very long ago when we thought Don Benjamin was going to hang up his ice skates, and now you're back
Double blades.
making dinner for 500. I bet you had to close the restaurant today.
We did, yeah.
We heard that.
Yeah, right. We have all of our facilities and all of our help here.
This isn't the biggest you've ever done.
No, I did a 750 this summer.
Oh, I should have known. Who was that for?
A Hobart Brothers Golden Anniversary.
Oh, wow. But this is a pretty big occasion for Rouse's Point.
Oh, it's big time for us, too.
Give us, I'm sure many of our viewers have no idea what's involved in setting up for a thing like this in terms of catering it.
Well, it's mostly a matter of planning and a lot of elbow work and lugging. We've made 6 or 8 trips already. We got the tables all ready, as you can see. I think it looks pretty good. It's a matter of... what I did is I simply divided into 4 restaurants, 125 seats per restaurant, and thought of it in that regard.
Is that what you do? I knew there have to be logistics. Do you have to hire extra help? Or?
Well, we're used to 125 people, so we just put a staff. I break it into that, and then we didn't have to hire any extra help, but we brought in some help that worked for us last summer, and some other people who used to work for us in the past, and so it's gonna go good, I'm sure.
What are we going to eat?
We're having chicken cordon bleu, baked stuffed potato, green beans, and world famous Royal Savage and apple crunch.
Oh, there's nothing better than that apple crunch. People might tell by the way I'm drooling as we speak here. You've had a little experience at this, but I imagine it's kind of exciting to get involved.
It's very exciting. I'm having a ball. I'm having a great time.
Because this man knows the value of hard work, it's just second nature to you.
Well, that's all I know. I don't know anything else.
Yes, you know a lot of things, but it's probably what you were put on this earth for because you're so darn good at it.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Is your wife involved with this project?
Well, she's going to take care of the money.
Where's all the food cooked anyway?
We're cooking everything at the Royal Savage. We have insulated Cambros pressure cabinets. We bring everything up in. It won't lose any temperature whatsoever. The Board of Health has been through every single detail with me to make sure that nothing goes wrong. They've been super cooperative. We'll bring everything up, and then we're setting up 4 separate serving lines, just like 4 separate restaurants, so that it can go real fast. I'm hoping to get everybody fed in 15 minutes.
Did you hear that? Everybody fed in 15 minutes. I knew it would only take me 9 or 10, but I didn't know everybody ate that fast. That's kind of amazing to me.
Well, they don't want to wait.
You got to get it done.
Got to get it done, sure.
And you'll even stick around for the speeches. I know you
Oh, yeah.
will.
Well, we have to clean up, don't forget, and that's a major part of this. Everything that's up here has got to go back.
All the politicians will be going home talking about how wonderful the speeches were, and you'll still be here.
We'll be cleaning up, but I have a big crew to help, so.
Somebody's got to do the dishes. I'll dry.
We'll be most all night doing dishes. It'll take us till almost morning.
Man, this man must be in amazing shape. Because how long have you been preparing for this? A couple of weeks?
Well, actually, we've been setting up here for 2 days, but we've been planning on paper and thinking about it for a couple of weeks, yes.
I'm not even going to ask you how long you're going to do this stuff. Because I didn't realize
Till
you
my
were still...
feet give out.
Till someday you wake up and say, no, it's not worth it. But it's been worth it up until now.
Yeah, it's great fun. I love it.
It's
I'm having a grand time.
Obviously, you're doing a great job at it. Thanks for chatting with us, Don.
That's great. Love to be here.
Don Benjamin of the Royal Savage, a landmark here in the North Country. And now, the Rouse's Point Civic Center with its new facelift is a landmark as well. I have with me the village administrator, Bev Bayshard. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Are you getting a little excited about tonight?
Yes, I am. I'm very excited. And I feel very honored to have the governor here in our village.
You know, this is the third time I've mentioned it, but it dawns on me that we haven't had a governor here in a long time, since 1963.
That's right. And my mother has told me many times when the governor came through in 1963. I'd like to say I was a young girl then.
You know, I can't say I was a young girl then, but I was a much younger boy than I am now. But I had already been in this town and working for 2 years when the governor came here, and although I wasn't in Rouse's Point for the occasion, I remember it very well. There was excitement.
There sure was. Yeah, I remember it well.
Bev, haven't they done a spectacular job in refinishing this Civic Center?
Oh, this is one of my greatest prides. This building is very important to me and my family. I'm very, very proud of it.
Why so much for your family?
Well, my husband was one of the ones that went down to Massachusetts to bring it back here in parts.
Oh, that's why.
And my sons played hockey here for many years.
And my kids played hockey here against these kids and other teams from Canada many times in the past since the late 1970s. And I can remember when the Rouse's Point Civic Center was just a dream.
That's right. And to have a dream come true is pretty special, don't you think?
I think so, too. And then have it rehabilitated this way. I walked in, and Calvin knows it was not a put-on. I was just absolutely blown away by how nice it looked.
Yeah, well, that makes me feel very good to hear you say that. I hope everyone tonight will feel the same.
You know, one of the things that caught my eye, besides the balloons and all the beautiful tables that Don Benjamin has set up for the dinner tonight, the soundproofing for the acoustics on the ceiling, that had to be an amazing project all by itself.
Yes, and we just completed it a very short time ago. So it only adds to tonight.
I have no idea what kind of material that might be, but they had to spray it on, didn't they?
Yes, it was quite a project. It's cellulose, and it was done by a local firm. So we're proud of it, and I think it's a fine job.
Well, as we stand here and talk, we know what sound felt like and sounded like inside this Rouse's Point Civic Center before. What a difference now. It's almost what we call in the business a dead room. The sound doesn't echo and bounce and so on. So, because that adds a tremendous surface area when you spray stuff on like that, and that absorbs all the extra sound up there.
You're so right. And it'll be so nice tonight. We'll be able to hear everything that's said.
And not to mention the fact that I imagine that acts as insulation as well.
Oh, yes. Yes, and if you remember when we were back here in the early days, it was quite cold in here.
Yes, I do remember those days.
Yes, and I hope that this year, now being a grandmother coming to watch them, that it'll be a little warmer for me.
It'll be a little late getting the ice down this year, but this occasion was worth waiting for.
That's for sure. But hopefully we will have it ready shortly after this weekend.
How much did you have to do as village administrator to get ready for this night?
Oh, I didn't do that much, and anything I did do, I really enjoyed doing.
Oh, boy, see the modesty. One of the great points about this lady. I wish you so very good luck tonight. I think it's going to turn out great.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being here.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
It's 10 minutes before 2 in the afternoon before Governor George Pataki is coming to town, and Bill Favreau, notice the width of his shoulders. Do you think they're wide enough to handle the responsibility of this major influx of Republicans into the village of Rouse's Point? He's the head honcho, the chairman of this whole event. How's it going so far, Bill?
It's been going great. The village of Rouse's Point has just been super and cooperating with us and getting us anything we needed. We're really excited about getting the governor up here. I think it's a lot of the old-timers in Rouse's Point say this is the first time a sitting governor has ever visited the village, and everybody is excited about it.
It's fun for everybody. They told me Governor Nelson Rockefeller was here in 1963, so maybe we should say in recent history, but it's been a long, long time.
Yeah, apparently the people I spoke to didn't remember that. But
Well, Calvin and I are old enough to remember things like that, even though that is a while ago. As I said to Bev, I'd been already working in the North Country for a couple of years before Nelson Rockefeller came to town. And so this excitement is building.
yes, it certainly is. We've gotten, like I said, tremendous support from the village, but also everybody up here in the community up here in the Northern Tier is excited about having a governor here and being able to host this event. It's great.
Just give our viewers a little idea into the logistics that it takes to put an event like this together, because this is big time for our little village.
Yes, well, it's difficult too because you need to do everything when you're not having it at a restaurant or banquet facility. I mean, we had to get tables, chairs, decorations, everything. You need to start from scratch, so it was interesting that way. We're going to have some parking concerns, but that's all being taken care of. Again, the village police are on the scene. We've called in the sheriff's department. They're going to help us with that and take care of traffic concerns. It's great. It's really great. Everything's come together really well.
I bet you wish you had had about 6 more weeks lead time, though.
No, actually, I think it's better to do it in a concentrated amount of time rather than worrying about it for 6 weeks.
You probably started pumping adrenaline the moment you heard you were going to run the show.
Yeah, that was about 3.5 weeks ago. First, it was started that the deputy secretary to the governor was going to be coming, and then we learned about a week later that he couldn't make it, but that he was going to send his boss, and that's when we had to start scrambling to find a place large enough. We're over 450 people reserved already. We expect to be close to or over 500 by the time this evening rolls around.
And you know, this Civic Center has undergone a recent facelift, so it looks really great. I'm sure the governor will be impressed.
It's fabulous. It really is. And there are a lot of people, unfortunately, who were here before the renovation, you know, who would come to me after we had set the venue as being up here saying, geez, have you seen that place? You know, and so we've had some public relations to do and sell to people the fact that this place is completely renovated and it's gorgeous. It really is a nice, clean facility. The cement floor, everything is, and it's all brand new, freshly painted. It's great.
Well, I must confess, as I have a couple of times in this program, and I always let it all hang out, I haven't been here in quite a number of years. I was all thrilled and delighted to see when this place was finally put up in about 1979, because I knew what effort was involved. And my kids played hockey here for years, and they're all grown up and gone, so I haven't been back here in a few years. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago to watch maybe a grandson play hockey in here, but I'm just blown away by this tremendous effort, and now this new material that's been sprayed in recent weeks inside the roof. What a difference it makes in here.
Right, plus the lighting system as well. I mean, they spent tens of thousands of dollars on that, I understand, alone. So, you know, that is just brightened it up and makes it a beautiful facility, sure. And I know our caterer, Don Benjamin from Royal Savage, Royal Savage is excited about the event. I think he is. I mean, it's been very convenient. You've got the garage doors, and you can drive vehicles in terms of setting it up, and it's been great.
Interesting you should mention Don Benjamin, because just a few minutes ago we interviewed Donald. We've known him for many years. He's not a stranger to big events like this. He is the coolest guy under stress I've ever seen. You better get him to run for something in the Republican Party, because this guy is amazing. He loves this thing.
He's been great to work with, fabulous. You know, don't worry, Bill, just give me some numbers by Monday afternoon. Call me again Wednesday morning, let me know how it's going.
He's just terrific. They closed their restaurant. They're cooking up the food. He told us a few moments ago off camera that every glass and every dish and every cup from the entire inventory and some that he had to beg and borrow are going to be here for this big event tonight.
Yes, I bet.
So tell me how you got involved with this specific project, Bill.
Well, I was asked by the county chairman, Chris Ortloff, the Republican county chairman, to host the event or act as dinner chairman, and I was glad to do it. It's an honor, especially with the governor coming.
Yeah, but there's going to be such a letdown about midnight tonight. You're not. The election will be an afterthought.
That's right. It will be. It'll be a good letdown, though. It'll be glad to get back to work.
Give us a little bit about your future politically. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, that remains to be seen in terms of whether or not they create that third judicial position for the county of Clinton, and if they do, then I'll be there.
You'll be in there fighting.
That's right.
Bill Favreau, good luck, and thanks so much for your hard work.
Thank you.
And if I am elected governor, there'll be a chicken in every pot, Tyler 2, and Tippecanoe. Those are about the only two things I can remember. This is the closest you're ever going to see to me standing behind a podium at a political rally and dinner, I'll tell you that. And you too, Michael. You don't have to give any speeches tonight,
No
do you?
speeches tonight, no. Thank God. I'll leave that to the politicians.
Well, as we speak now, we're just approaching 2 o'clock in the afternoon before Governor George Pataki arrives to talk to this gathering of almost 500 people tonight. Are you beginning to feel like you did something right?
Yes, it feels great to have the governor come in and have such an event held here at the Ross Point Civic Center.
It's amazing. I like to drink it all in. I love festivities of any kind, regardless of your party affiliation. And it's just kind of a great day. We got a beautiful, sunshiny day in the North Country. You couldn't get better weather for this kind of an occasion, could you?
No, it's great. He was Governor Pataki was supposed to attend Plattsburgh last year, and I guess he got up in the air in his plane, but then the weather was so bad it grounded him, so he could never made it to Plattsburgh. So hopefully he's already in the North Country, so you can't blame it on the weather today.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He better be in the North Country. He was supposed to appear in Lake Placid this morning, and in about an hour and a half from now, he will be appearing in the city of Plattsburgh, and then will make his appearance here tonight for this occasion. It's impossible to thank all the people that made this day possible, but I know you and your staff have done a marathon job. You got to feel good about it.
Yes, we do. This is I think the building looks very nice, the best that it's ever looked, in my opinion. So we're very proud to hold this event.
Any other special plans for anything big now? Just ice season coming up.
Yeah, the next 6 months will be kind of just routine as far as skating. So hopefully we'll have some events happening next summer. We have none planned right now. Shazy Hardware told me they'd probably be back. Delegars would be back. I got lacrosse coming back. I had lacrosse in here all summer. I had inline hockey played here all summer. A group of guys out of Plattsburgh played down here regularly. So I know I have them coming back next year. So it's just to build on that. So
I had no idea you were doing lacrosse.
yeah, we had lacrosse all summer. Calvin filmed quite a few games. The Indians, I don't want to say the wrong. What was the Calvin? Can you tell us their Warriors?
Ganyanga Gunners. All right, we heard you back there.
This was their home rink, I guess as you call it, and they played 6 or 8 games here down here. Some of the nights the crowds were pretty good, very rough, a lot of fights.
I have spent most of my childhood watching lacrosse games, not only down on the reservation itself in Hogansburg, but over at the Maple Leaf Arena across the river in Cornwall. And I'll never forget, as a small child, my father was a minister, and there were always all the clergy, the priests and the clergy were there, and they were getting right into the action from the stands just like the rest of us were. It's a rough game, especially the way they play it.
Yes, they all get into it, like you said. One of the games they had a big brawl. I guess that the fans come right out, and some of them got suspended. This is what they told me. It didn't happen here, thank God, but that's what they told me anyway.
And inline hockey, that's a whole new ball game these days.
Yeah.
That's growing by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, and they really like to play the arena here, and they said they'd be back next year. So I think it'll be a good summer next year too.
I don't know why I didn't ask you, and I apologize for not doing it before now, though. Michael, were you born and brought up here?
Yes, I was. Yeah, I lived here all my life. My father was a superintendent for the village here for 39 years, worked for the village. So then I've worked now for going on 13 years. So over a half a century that my father and me have worked for the village. So.
And there are a lot worse places to live than Rouse's Point.
I think Rouse's Point is a very nice community to live in and grow up, bring a family up in. I have a little boy that's 6 years old in first grade, and I think it's great living here.
Is he going to have a hockey future?
No, I think more of a basketball. I'm leaning towards basketball, and he's a golfer already. Golfs, got his own sets of gloves, so and it's hard for me working down here. I work weekends, so if my little boy did play hockey, I'm not saying he can't play. I'm not going to say he can't play hockey, but it would mean a lot of traveling for my wife on the weekends because she'd be doing it all because I work weekends. So
been there, done that. At one time, we had 5 kids playing hockey in our family, and yes. We were on the road a little bit back in the days when the Rouse's Point Civic Center was cold in the winter.
It's still going to be cold in here this winter, but I think if everything goes right with the insulation, the building should stay the ice temperature. It shouldn't stay the outside temperature. So basically it should stay 20 to 22 degrees in here, hopefully.
Well, that's better than 20 to 22 below zero, and believe me, some of those rinks, indoor-outdoor rinks that have a roof and no sides on them, where they rely on natural conditions to make ice, yes, I found out where every good wood stove is in every lobby of every civic center from here to Albany and back again. But it's great to raise kids in northern New York. Calvin and I have spent a lot of time promoting Small Town USA, and when we try to tell people outside this area about our quality of life, they smile and say, oh no, we're going to get the lecture on the quality of life again. The audience for this program is Clinton, Essex, and Franklin counties. And without small towns, villages like Rouse's Point, Champlain, Moores, Ellenburg, around the North Country, we wouldn't have the good stuff we have today. And it has a lot to do with the people.
Yes, it does. And a lot of them communities that you just mentioned are supporters of the rink. A lot of them skate here from Ellenburg, from Shazy. This is their home rink. Beatman Town High School plays here. So most of them communities use this rink in one time of the year or another. So it's good for the whole North Country.
Michael, one more time. I know you've been on this program many times in the past. The first time with me. It's a pleasure to meet you. Good luck tonight and in everything you do.
Thanks, Gordy. I appreciate both you and Calvin coming today to put this on the air and just to let the public know that we have a good thing going here, and hopefully that people want to use it for next year, weddings, it'll be available.
Boy, he's a promoter, isn't he? I looked all through this program for tonight, 24th Annual Clinton County Republican Dinner. I didn't see your name in here.
I haven't looked it over yet.
Somebody forgot? Maybe we're going to have them staple in a page before the program is through.
I don't need my name in there. Bob Venn asked me the same thing during the 4th of July when he interviewed me for all the event coordinators, and he goes, where's your name for the chairman? And I go, I don't need my name in there. They know I'm the chairman.
Who would ever dream that Bob Venn would be Gordy Little's guardian angel, huh? He's here telling me what questions to ask today. It's wonderful. Michael, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Have yourself a great day, everybody.